Hello and welcome to JV's Daily Marg, and you can see that this is the Daily Marg 2.0 series which has launched on 6th September 2022. Fine. So what's Daily Marg actually? I will introduce to you what Daily Marg is. It's actually the daily answer writing guidance program. Fine. First we will write answers and then you will also be provided with the guidance for writing the answers. Fine. In addition to writing answers and getting them evaluated within the guaranteed timeline of 48 hours, you will also add up, you will be also given daily one terminology and the coverage of entire GS syllabus within 7 days through coverage of every topic based on the current affairs. What is being covered here is that the answer writing is based on current affairs. What I mean by that is the current affairs which pop up in the editorials. And as we all know that UPSC questions in mains are very much influenced from the editorials of The Hindu and Indian Express. So primarily we will consider those editorials and then we will look for other editorials of Down to Earth magazine or EPW magazine. Fine. So now this series will give you a guaranteed evaluation and also essay guidance and essay writing program, or 2 essays in the 1 month you will be given to write. Fine. 6 questions in a week. Fine. Now moving ahead, yes, there are some MCQs also. 10 MCQs on daily basis will be given to you so that you practice for prelims also. Okay. In order to join this course, you can visit to www.jatinverma.org or you can call on us our numbers. Fine. Moving ahead, this program PAREEKSHANAM 2.0 is an integrated test series, a prime program at JV's IAS, and this program has a tagline that yes, you need to evaluate yourself before UPSC evaluates you. Fine. Why and how was this program developed is because always we have seen that UPSC aspirants are struggling with this thing that how to integrate prelims, mains, CSAT, current affairs and all other things, what not is there in UPSC. Now what we did was that we made this PAREEKSHANAM program so that your entire preparation, whether it's CSAT or GS, it's current affairs or static, everything will be covered over here. Fine. You will get everything under one name, that is PAREEKSHANAM. For further details, you can visit to www.jatinverma.org or you can call us on our numbers. There are very limited slots. Moving ahead to the question of the day, and the question of the day was about energy security. Fine. Why a country needs energy security and why there should be energy security of a country is for the strategic autonomy. Fine. Once we are strategically autonomous with respect to energy resources and energy pool, then only we can grow the other dimensions, or then only we can develop the other dimensions of growth. Fine. So starting with the approach of this question, what we should have first understood is that what actually is the demand of this question. The question asks us about the potential of our energy sector at present. That means हमारे पास potential कितना है, that how much energy we can produce. Fine. And how much energy we are producing at present and how much energy dependent we are on imports and other countries. Fine. So that is how we will answer the first part of the question. Second part talks about discuss. It means that we have to give 2 perspectives of every statement we quote here. Fine. That is why and how. Then we will take to the steps which are taken by the government to achieve this strategic autonomy in energy sector. Fine. This question contains 15 marks, so we will cover it within 250 words only. Approach इसका देखेंगे इस question का, and it's about that what is India's first thing which I said, that what's our current scenario, what's our current scenario in energy sector. Then we will move further and we will talk about what can we do to achieve this energy security. Then we will talk about what government has taken steps to achieve this whether that's petroleum reserves, whether that's solar energy, geothermal energy, or other steps like PM Kusum. Fine. So moving ahead, then we will conclude this question by focusing on the thing that the policy formulation and its focal point should be energy security, because this thing is multidimensional intrinsically. Fine. So that is why we will be focusing at the policy level on this on other dimensions of energy security, in order to ensure that these questions are credible enough and the sources are credible enough. Here are the screenshots from which these questions are influenced. Fine. So this was influenced directly from an editorial which came up in Indian Express, which talked about building the future, which means that in order to be secure in future, we need to be secure on the energy parameters. Fine. Here is a breakdown of India's renewable energy sources, and you can see that how much share is there in the energy pool of India, which is being shared by different sectors, whether it's hydroelectricity, whether it's wind energy or biomass or the waste energy. Fine. Now, yes, these questions are credible enough, as you can see on the slide itself. Moving ahead to the introduction of this question, as I said, the introduction should ensure and it should pay focus and it should signify this energy security. That is why we will start with this thing that India currently is energy dependent on its imports, because India currently is the third largest importer of oil. Fine. Then we will talk about the imports, as 85% of the crude oil which is being imported in India, the crude oil in turn disbalances our what? Current account deficit. So that is how this energy security is linked to the country's economic health. Fine. उसके बाद हम आगे इस चीज़ की सिग्निफिकेंस और बढ़ाने के लिए we will write one more fact about what India imports in coal, and 25 million tons of the coal are imported and used for electricity generation. This is what I call creative writing, or the art of creative writing. That is, you will in a crisp two statements, you will ensure that you convey your meaning in the best possible way. Then we will talk about, after ensuring the significance of the topic or the question, then we will talk about the other dimensions of the question which it has asked, that how can we ensure this energy security. Fine. How can we ensure? First thing is about domestic exploration. As we are dependent on the imports, what we need to do is the domestic production more and more, and we need to explore more resources which India is having potential of. Fine. Because overnight we cannot shift to the green energy, because US or other West, which has been blamed at the international levels that they took the profit from industrial revolutions and they polluted. There are differentiated responsibilities, they polluted the environment, and now we have to shift towards green energy. But yes, that is not an overnight process. What it is, it's a gradual process, and India has to develop step by step. So in order to reduce our current account deficit, what we will do is we will take care of our own natural resources first, then we will talk about, then we will decrease our imports, and after that we can move towards, gradually in the simultaneous process we can move towards the green energy transition. इसके बाद geothermal energy, as the renewable energy sources have to be more in focus, then we can move towards green geothermal energy. Why this point has been brought in here is because recently ONGC has participated in Ladakh Kuga Valley in the geothermal exploration. ठीक है. However, India around has 340 geothermal projects which have a potential of 10,000 megawatts of energy. Then yes, we need to develop this infrastructural developments, we need to develop our infrastructure so that we can be better prepared for our transition towards green energy, whether it's electricity vehicles, it's electric vehicles, whether it's electric equipments, it's charging stations for the vehicles, or battery storage capacity of the country, or to smoothen the process at large, we have to develop the infrastructure at the first place, then only we can move towards the green energy transition. Fine. Moving ahead, fourth point will be the solar energy. Fine. So that is how we will cover this answer holistically. That first we will talk about the exploration, that is already non-renewable sources. We will dwell into that sector. Then we will go towards renewable energy. For that we will talk about geothermal energy, then infrastructural developments, and then solar energy. And yes, India's current installed solar energy stands at 48 gigawatts, and we stand at 5th after US, China, Japan and Germany in terms of solar installed power. Fine. हमारा एक स्कीम भी चल रहा है पावर इस पे सोलर एनर्जी पे, गवर्नमेंट का बहुत पुश चल रहा है इस पे. However, about 5,000 trillion kilowatts per year energy is incident over India's land area which we can harness. So that is how we ensure that our potential is great in solar energy. ठीक है. International Solar Alliance we can quote over here. Then moving towards the second part of the question, which asked us to enumerate the steps which have been taken by the government, in which the first is PM Kusum, and it's about harnessing the solar energy. By 2020 what we have to harness is around 25,750 megawatts. Fine. Then moving towards the other dimensions and the other steps which government has taken. First was, the second is production or the product linked incentive scheme which government has been promoting after this COVID, in order to ensure that manufacturing sector, and there is this product linked or the incremental sales based cash subsidies which are being provided to those who implement or who come under this domain of this scheme. Then yes, we have a net zero target of emissions by 2030, in which non-renewable sources should be there, from where we should derive our energy consumption. Fine. Then we can talk about petroleum reserves, which are the strategic petroleum reserves. Yes, 2 additional facilities already we have in Karnataka, and now we are setting up with the approval of the government recently 2 more at Chandikol, Odisha. Fine. Why? Because हमको पता है अभी that recently in the Ukraine-Russia conflict we have seen the turmoil which was there in oil sector and the oil imports, energy sector बहुत ज़्यादा crisis हो गया था, inflation बहुत ऊपर हो गया था. That is why we will ensure this thing that अभी जो current strategic autonomy है इंडिया की, that should be first ensured, and then only we can shift towards green energy sector. Fine. That is how we will answer this question. We will keep this thing in mind that we need to consider both the perspectives, and we should not be tilted towards one angle only, that India should start moving towards BS6, moving towards green energy and moving towards other dimensions, and leaving aside the renewable or these non-renewable sources. Fine. Then in the conclusionary part of this question, yes, we should be having this framework to boost our renewable energy power sector, and the policy formulation should be accordingly, and this thing, this energy security or the strategic autonomy in the energy sector should be at the top most priority of those who are making policies of the government of the day. Fine. Moving ahead, this is the conclusionary part, and now I will talk about something which you will get in this discussion, that is value addition. Fine. And how this value addition will help you is by quoting these things in your answers. Okay? Some kind of slides like this, whether there will be key facts, key words, key key terms, key words or key facts, or some value added information which will be linked to this topic only, and it will be uniquely provided to you in this discussion series of Daily Marg. Fine. This is something, if we moved towards technology based application in the energy sector, then only we can save around 50 to 95 billion dollars per year in 2025. So what kind of appliances or what kind of applications which we can use or which we can adapt in our day-to-day lives, so that we contribute in the larger public interest or in the national interest, is like smart metering, solar energy, social impact by reducing the carbon emissions. This thing requires the behavioral or the nudge behavior, so that we develop on that thing. Then energy storage like battery capacity should be increased. Yes, energy efficiency technologies like LEDs, those appliances which are smart in energy saving, that should be used, and all other things which you can see over here, like sum of size potential economic impacts, will add up to all of this, and then our potential productivity gains in 2025 will be around more than 50 to 90 billion dollars. Fine. So that is how we will be dealing with this series of daily Marg, and you will get more and more in the coming days. And as you know that daily one terminology is being shared with you, 10 MCQs are being shared with you, and this discussion also, guaranteed evaluation also, and what not is there. You are all welcome to join us at www.jatinverma.org, or you can call on us on our numbers. Thank you for being in this discussion. All the best from JV's IAS.